Hi guys, welcome to Aero Design Studio channel. Today we'll be learning a tutorial in which you'll be learning making a stool, a plastic stool in a Rhinoceros 5.0 and how to make it, and this you'll be getting acquainted with surfacing, nerves, everything, and you'll get an overview how you need to model a plastic product into Rhinoceros and how to get it rendered into Keyshot 5. Okay, let's start with the tool. Now this is my Rhinoceros 5.01. Now you can see everything over here. I can just say top view, I can come down into the top view. What I currently need to do is I'll draft the longitudinal and latitudinal side of this tool and I'll consider it as 400 horizontally this way, and I'll just take 250 this way. It is toolless, so I can say 300 as well. This again is 400 and I have drafted a rectangle of 400 by 300 over here. Now I'll just make a diagonal line so that I can get the centroid of this total thing, and I'll move this total thing from this point to this origin snap so that I get my geometry completely aligned to the axis and the locators. Now what I need to do is I need to make certain things over here. I'll just say arc. I'll just see I have taken control point curve right from this point, or might be you can just take a right click this, press it, and you can take control curve interpolate points. I say this one and this one. It's too, I'll just make one thing. I'll reduce the count size to 10 again. I'll say this one. From this point I'll be saying okay, I'll take this control curve from this point to this point, exact same point from which you have been starting, mirroring it from mi mirror right from this point to this point. Again I'll be doing the same thing. I have mentioned that these are the three blocks that I have left, and again I'll be saying okay, I need to select the third block over here. Again I'll be placing my last point, and again I'll be choosing the third block over here. So this way I have made this happen, and I have a geometry over here. I'll just delete this because I want this much area. I'll just trim the sides over here, and now I'll be making, this is my base. This thing is particularly my base, and what I need to do is now I need to just offset it. I'll say escape, I'll say offset, I'll select the curve to offset, and I'll say this should be almost the draft angle should be just a tentative snapping to the points. I just want to make it a gradual taper. So these are the things that I'm going to do right now. I'm just going to trim it again. So I have two laminas resting, both laminas are resting on the same plane. You can just see these both laminas are resting on the same plane. I don't want them to rest on the same plane. I'll just first of all I'll just sorry, I won't join them. I'll just move this particular top lamina from in the front view with a distance of might be 500 mm, which is the height of my stool probably. So this is the lamina. I'll join this by line, this and this corner by line. I won't use loft command because there are a number of things that affect my geometry, so I won't be using the loft command. So I have a lamina over here. I'll use the command which is surface from 2, 3 or 4 edges. I said this one, this one, this one. These are the 4 edges, and I have created geometry out of it right now. Okay, then I'll be saying okay, this one, this edge, this edge. I won't say tangency over here, I'll just say position and say okay. This way I have created these things. Again I'll repeat it for the rest of geometry. Okay, what will happen if I say tangency? We'll just look up, but it will happen only if you say surface edge. If you say tangency at B over here and tangency at D over here, it will make these edges tangent. Okay, you can see the tangency has been maintained in this case. Okay, but in this case it has not been maintained because you haven't mentioned the tangency option. So I'll be saying okay, this has to be the borders of the object, and in spite of tangency I'll be saying position and say OK. Again I'll be selecting all these curves and I'll say planar, and I've finished up. I'll just say okay, I have done this much of work right now. What I need to do is I need to make it stackable also, so that the next tool fits up on this particular geometry. So what I'll be doing is right now I'll be make a circle over here, might be of this much dimension, a tentative dimension might be. Okay, I'll just make the grid snap off for a while. So this is a circle which would rather sweep up, sweep this sweep this as a cross-sectional rail, enter, and then the cross-section curve and say enter. So you have made a circle over here which is being you just need to select and again say, if possible, that's not an issue, or you can just make a tentative change in that. Okay, I see this one has to get moved up a little bit so that it intersects the total geometry properly. I don't want this to happen because this won't let the object to get trimmed, so I'll just draft a single line and I'll make sure that I have splitted this total entity, this total join, split this total thing from this point, so that I can have a perfect laminar finish. So what I have right now is the curves over here. I can delete these curves right now, I don't need them anymore. Okay, I also want to delete this one, I also wish to delete this one, this total thing. I'll say mirror to this and I'll get everything mirrored over here. Grid snap. Okay, I'll say okay, again I'll select this and I'll say mirror right from this point. This is why I have aligned everything to grid, so that I can get a consistency over it. I can do one thing, I can just increase the size of the radius of the circle as well. Scale center 1.2 is the better option, so that I can get a good flexible geometry over it. As a mirror, I'll just mirror it this way. Again I'll say it this way. So I have created these total things over here. What I need to do right now is I'll just make sure that this face, this plane is also kept, because then I also need to trim these cylinders with this one also. So I'll join it everything over here. So this has to be a solid geometry, this has to be a solid geometry, so you can get a volume out of it by volume command. So it won't, if it's an open geometry, then it will notify you. I'll just right now I'll just again say volume. It will notify you some of the selected objects are not closed. I say okay, fine. So I'll redo the changes and now my geometry is again intact. Now this is a volumized geometry. Now I'll say unhide, I'll unhide those cylinders. I'll say split this object, enter, with these objects, enter. So this object has been split, but this hasn't, I guess. I'll just resplit it. Yeah, now I'll split all these four again with the inner one. So I'll just now delete it, so you can see I have got a geometry over here. So simple, you have created this tapered geometry over here right now. Okay, so this is the way I have done it. I'll say join, and now I'll be giving the fillet edge command, and I'll be saying that it has to be a fillet of 15R. So that this is a 15R fillet that is being taking place, and I'll give all this fillet to the vertical edges right now. So these are the fillets what I'm getting. Okay, now what is the thing is, I also want to give fillets in the top this way, fillet edge, but now I'll just say 15 and I'll select the top edges and say enter. I'll just see whether it happens, but it does not happen. So what I'll do is I'll tell you one technique. Whatever fillet you are giving over here, the fillet should be at least 1 mm less than the fillet that you have given. So it would happen, even though if it is not happening prior giving. So now it has taken place, you can see. So my stool is now taking shape. Is that so? What I'll do right now, I also want to fill it, make some more things over here. I'll just say explode. Okay, I can just do one thing. I'll just explode this. I don't want this right now. I'll say join. Now this total geometry is along with me right now, so I'll say extrude curves, extrude straight, this one, and I'll say 10, 10, but it should be minus 10, so it comes in negation. So this is the way what I have, but one more thing you need to do again here is, you need to, in spite of doing that, say duplicate edge. This all geometry has to be duplicated, and then I'll say select right click and say invert selection, and I'll hide everything else than that curve. I'll select and delete these geometries because I don't want them to happen there. I say 30 and I'll join this geometry over here, this geometry over here, this geometry over here, this geometry over here, and I'll say okay, now this is the stuff I have got. I'll select Control A join, so this has been joined, and again I would say okay, now this has to be a planar curve, and then again it has to extrude itself by minus 10. So this is the geometry I have got. I'll select this and split it with this, so I have these corners, and the inner one should be deleted again. I'll say Control A, I'll say join, and I have joined this. So this is the geometry that I have got right now. What I'm going to do is, now I'm into more close to creating this as a stool. I'll go in the front view this way, and I'll just say duplicate edges, and I'll make sure that these edges are selected. I'll select them. I'll again come here, right invert selection, and hide this stuff. I'll make a plane, a two point plane over here. The plane is automatically created on the center plane. I'll select both of them, as these are tapered ones and these are not aligned. I want to draw a splitting lines over here. So what I'll be doing, I've selected this. You can just say project, right click and project curves, pull curves on the surface, enter. So your curves has been pulled over the surface. So now these curves are straight actually. Right click, you have opened it up. You can just see your curves over here. I'll say offset this curve by probably 20 or might be 25. Let's make it 25. So I can again hide the geometry. I don't need these curves, okay. I'll just take out the geometry over here. This has to be a bit thicker so that it holds up the strength and the weight. I'll just copy this one and this one as well. So now I can again hide it. So this is the stuff what I have got. I'll say fillet. I'll say radius 30 as in this one and this one as well. I'll just say trims, and I'll just trim this one, this one, this one, this one. Then I'll say fillet. Okay, this one, this one, this one, this one. I'll do a less fillet over here, filleting over here, so that it does not affect the shape and size. So you just need to remember now that this is a 30 fillet, this is a 20 fillet, and rest everything. I'll say right, and this has to be again extended out of the geometry. Extend this one so that it intersects it completely. I'll select both of them this way, and I'll just come over here and say extrude straight, but I want it both sides this way. But then it is too heavy, so that I can undo once. This is, everything is trial and error. If you want to work in a concrete manner, then you can refer the blueprints as well. I said this much is the area that I want. Again I'll be seeing fillet of okay, trim. Let's enlarge this one, this one, this one. Sorry, I've done something wrong. Okay, this one, I don't want this one, I don't want this one, I don't want this one, this one. I can directly even say fillets. Okay, I don't I want a fillet of radius 20, I want a fillet radius of 30. Okay, 30, 30, 30, 30 and 30, 30. Again here itself I'll be doing the same stuff. Okay, I need to extend this because all of them are resting on the base plane. Then you won't find any problem over here. So I'll join them, and I'll just make sure that these two curves are being properly extruded, both sides. Then I'll just split this with this, this with this. delete, 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 delete. So my stool is now taking shape over here. Okay, so I have referred everything like what it has to be. The same method I'll be using again for this side as well, the latitudinal side, but this time you need to say right one. Again I'll make a plane. Again I'll pull all these curves on the plane so that they don't be tapered. I'll delete this one, I'll hide this one, and this is my, I'll just save the file, stool. Okay, so this is the way I have done it, but now you need to refer some things. Okay, the cut of this point, I say this one, the midpoint, you just need to refer because that has to be the same height, at the same height. I'll say this one and I'll say this one. So I'll just move them a bit this way so that they intersect them properly. Again I'll hide it. I've got the stuff, and again I need to say offset by 25, offset by 25. So as they were offset, now I'll say 30, fillet radius 30 over here, over here. But I also need to project these lines over here because these lines are not on that plane. So what I'll be doing is I'll make it fillet now this way, 30, 30. Okay, let us reduce the radius, no issues, because I guess the size has been. So one more thing you need to do is, okay, this longitudinal size I need to just make it offset by 15, not more than that. No issues in that. So you can make it 15, and you can just make a lengthful curve over here and delete this one, and then say you delete these lines. So fillet, you just understand the crux of the matter, how I'm going to make it happen this way. Here trim, and you need to trim this one. Sorry, again I'm doing the same thing. So I'll trim this one, this one, this one, this one, and again I'll be saying filleting this one with this one, this one with this one, and this has to be 20 again. Again I need to do the same thing. I need to just make it extend over here, this point to this point. Okay, control A, join, this has to be joined. Again over here, right click, open it, and say extrude again with both sides, and now trim this by this one and this one as well. So you'll get this has been totally trimmed, and you have got a shape of a stool over here. So I guess we can even work up scale 1D. I say I feel that this is a bit short by dimension, so I'll just say shift it a bit, make it a bit slighter wide to mark up the geometry. I have made this tool. Okay, now what I'll be doing is I'll be making a circle at the top for inserting a finger into the geometry and picking it up. I'll just make the grid snap off for a while so that I can get the exact okay, this much is sufficient for us. I'll just say extrude, or not even, no need to extrude it. You can go in the planar view, anyone, top view, front view. In this case I'll go in top view, split, and then I can see this one, and I'll delete these two things. So I have my stool over here with a finger pocket to pick it up, and even if you copy it this way, you can see it can be stacked up. Okay, it won't intersect this way. So this way it happens. You need to make a stackable stool. Okay, I'll just try whether it happens. Surface offset curve of a surface, flip by 2 mm thickness. I'll just see what happens. I hope that it takes up the fillet offset surface command. Offset surface command is a bit weaker in Rhinoceros. I found it weaker, but even though, you can just have a look over it. Okay, it is pretty good now. You can see we have made that stool over here, and it is pretty thicker as well. So we have made everything correct over here. I can just say one more thing. I can just say center. I can just make it more decorative, center, and again I can just select it in this way, and I'll match up these things to this point. I'll just select every point over here, quadrant, tangent, vertex, whatever it is. Then I'll set this one, and I'll just say extrude this by 2, might be, yeah. And I can just say okay, this one and this one has to be planar. Control A, join. Now these things won't get joined to this one, so what I'll be doing, I'll split this with this one and split this one with this one. So what will happen, I'll just say join this one and this one, so that I can get a geometry over here. And rest I can right click and shade and delete this one. So I have a geometry over here, which is being a stool basically. So this is the stool what we have made. I'll make it more appealing by adding some basic things like duplicate edge, this one, 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 and this one. These are the edges. I'll just right click and hide everything without that. I'll say join this one to this one. They won't join because there is a slight difference over there. I'll just even there is no need to join it. You can just do one thing. You can just say offset by, let it be 25. Let this be 25. Let this be. Okay. No, okay. Then I'll say fillet and I'll say 20. Might be this one, this one. Okay, I'll delete this one. Then 20 with this. It happens while you make things more prettier. So I'll just say fillet one, this one with this. It's not happening. No issues. We'll do one thing. We'll just choose this one, and we can make one small adjustment that I'll just split these two things with this. And I can directly delete these things. So everything you have shortcuts. You just need to make yourself comfortable making these things. And I have made this one. Again I'll say join, and I'll just say offset by might be 5 mm. Okay, so this is the 5 mm offset. Right click, so this is the offset. I'll say split this total thing with this one. So I have a geometry over here. I'll say okay, I'll move it at a distance of 0.5, this one, right from this point. So this is a stool. There is a serration in the stool. Okay, duplicate edges. I can say this one is the duplicate edge. I can select this, and I'll even say this one has a duplicate edge, this one and the inner one, so that I can use lock command to resurface these things in a straight manner, so that I can join them again. So these are the things that I have been making since over here. Now this is the object that we have made. Okay, if possible we can give borders to this as well. How we need to do is now stool is almost ready, just we need to make it more decorative, and how we are going to do that we'll just see over it. Okay, let us say that this is an edge over here. This edge I need it. I'll say right click and just hide the total entity. Okay, now this is the edge which is being made. I'll just make a small rectangle over here at this point, okay, and I'll make sure that this rectangle intersects it a bit, so this way. Okay, now this is the rectangle that I have made. Right click over here. I'll say okay, this is a small thing. Okay, I can just say scale it up. Okay, so there's 1.5. this is scaled. Okay, now this will behave as a border. I'll say this one to move it over here, or copy it again so that we can use this cross section again. And I'll say sweep, select a rail curve over here, and I'll select this as a wheel path. So this is the object that I have made. Okay, so these small things will add a detail to your drawing, to your design. Right, so I'll say split this one. I'll just try it whether it is getting splitted or not. Yes, it is getting splitted, so I can further join them. Okay, I'm done with this. So after making it, I'll just say mirror so that I can use it again. I'll say grid snaps on this way. Okay, then I'll say split with this, split this with this, so it's a mutual split. Split this with this, and split this with this. So these are the things that you need to do, small things that will land you into excellence for a modeling thing. Okay, so I have selected the outer periphery objects this way, not this one, huh? You need to select this one, this one. I'll just choose one by one, it is making confusion. Okay, this one, not the inner one, and I'll just select and I'll just hide it, and I'll just select these and delete them. Again, I'll repeat the same thing. I'll just see whether everything is going correct. Okay, this is being correct. Now I'll be doing the same thing in this case. I'll just copy this right from this point to this point. I'll make sure that I'll rotate the thing where it is. Yes, this one. I'll rotate it. Again, I'll move it in this view. You can see in this view. Right, I'll just make it inserted a bit inside. Just turn off the grid snap this way. Okay, now again I need to say duplicate edges. I said this one is the edge, and this needs to be rail edge, and this is the cross-sectional edge. I'll say split, sorry, I'll just mirror it first. The grid snap, I'll use this snap over here. Split this one. It has been split into two pieces as well. This one. This one also splitted. Okay. There is something been wrong over here. Okay. I'll say join this one with this. Join this one with this. Rest everything will be. Again, I'll do these two things. If anything is remaining, then you can carry it forward by same methodology. So I have made this stuff right now in this way. I'll just add a fillet over here. Fillet edge by 2 might be. I'll just check whether it is fit over here. Yes, it is fit. No, it is not. 1. Let us see what happens. Okay, it has taken. I can just even give this one. This has also not to be sharp. Okay, you can. These things will add to your beauty of the object. Okay, no need to give here a fillet. So this way I have modeled this thing. One more thing we'll be doing is I'll just make happen distance. No need. Let it be. We will just keep it the way it is. So this is the stool that I have made over here. I'll do one thing right now. Okay, I need to do one more thing over here. I'll just say mesh. I'll say smooth and slower. I'll delete everything, the curves, everything, or I'll just segregate them on a layer. I'll say that this is, I'll explode the stool right now. So this is a basic stool. So I'll just control A. I'll just select a stool body. I'll stool body. Let us say it is red. I'll just change. Okay, then it is stool texture. I'll just say this is the texture. Change object. So these two things are over here. Stool texture. So I'll just hide it this way. And this is the body, wrist, everything. This has also to be body. uh, I'll just select and I'll just say Control A and join. Now everything has been joined over here. So okay, so this is the textured thing where we need to add some bumps and everything. So this is my stool. I have layered them so that I can render them with the pretty good attributes in Keyshot. Now this is the stool I have made. I'll just render it into a Keyshot thing. Okay, I'll go in Keyshot over here. It's a Keyshot 5 version. We'll render the stool into that. Okay, I'll just import this tool whether it is being saved over here. I'll say import. That goes in F. It's stool. This one. Okay. I'll say snap to ground automatic, keep automatic, say import. So this is the stool that we have made over here. Simply go in plastics. You can have plastics over here. You just need to select one plastics over here. I'll say shiny red. I have given this one a texture of this, or might be you can take any color you like, whatever. Okay, whatever color you wish to stack it up. I'll say red is pretty good, so that I give red. I'll give this one as well red tone. Laterally I'll see what will happen. In environment, I'll just go in environment bar over here. This is an overhead array which suits more in these cases, or you can just select whatever you feel that this is good, but just make sure that everything you select has a meaning and looks pretty good. I'll just change the material again. I don't feel that I need to give plastics. I can also give because these are translucent plastics, you can see. And I'll select this one, this material. I'll right click and say unlink material. I have selected this one. I'll double click it. I'll go in textures. I'll say bump map, and I'll select a bump map over here. Hope I would have some textures, bump map textures over here. Bump maps. Okay, there are some bump map textures over here. I want something which is net. Okay, I hope that it happens over here. Scale, just reduce it once. Yes, it is happening. 0.001 I'll go, or 0.005. This is also good. I'll just say bump value, I'll just increase bump height to 2 so that the texture becomes more prominent. Okay, this way we have achieved the effect. Now let us render it. But the problem is with this, I'll have a choice. I can go in paint and I can select this one as well. It is looking more promising. So I can go here as well. I'll say unlinked material. Yeah, this is good. And I'll double click it. I'll say textures. I'll say bump again. I'll go there and choose this one. I'll align the scale. Oh yeah, this cursor you need to see scale as 0.005 and bump height to 2. Yeah, will do. So this is a stool that you have made. Okay, environment, you can just go down and you can just select a color of white color might be, and you can do one more thing. You can add a stool, right click, and you can say duplicate over here. Stool position, the move tool. You see this has to be moved over here. Oh sorry, it has to be moved over here, or scale, it's to be moved over here, it's to be moved over here, it's to be rotated this way. Oh, not this way. Let's move this way. I'll rotate it this way, and I'll move it this way again, this way. So I just need to do a number of things to make it right. Yeah, you can even move it a bit again to suit your choice of things in this way. So these are the two stools over here. I say okay, write up. I'll right click it and say unlink material. I'll right click and say unlink material. Again I'll double click it and I'll just choose a different tone over here. Let the tone be reddish, okay, and light reddish. You need to choose the families of red this way. Again you need to come over here, double click, reddish, the same thing again, complete red, and then a partial red, or might be you can just select the two tones. So this is the way I have created my stools. Then you just need to adjust some brightness and contrast. So 1.5 is a greater contrast for me, even though if it is going a bit huge, I can just reduce the counts, and I can even, you can rotate the environment in that particular geometry, but in this case there is no use, so I'll make it 0 probably. So this is the way I have made this particular things. Then you can stack it up here. I'll just make it a full version, okay. I'll stack it up as well, this as well here. Okay, so these are the two stools that I have created over here, and you need to render them into final quality, how we'll see it. So this is the way we have done it, and then I'll go and render. I'll first of all save the file, okay, this one, ghy bap, whatever name you will be giving. So now I'll say render, and I'll say quality, and then I'll say this as 50 might be, or in the multiples of 12, and then it should be 32. Okay, 32 is more than sufficient. I can make it 60 as well. It should be 8 for a high quality, it should be 5, it should be 5, it should be, I guess, okay. Output should be presets, you can go 1920 by 1327, and try making a TIFF out of it, include alpha transparency, whatever, and you can just say render. So friends, this way we have completed this tutorial. Soon we'll be coming up with more tutorials for Rhinoceros, for everything, for Fusion, for Rhinoceros. So please subscribe us on our channel, and feel free to ask your questions regarding modeling, regarding rendering, everything you wish to ask. So bye bye for now, and please stay tuned with us for the next tutorial, probably on Rhinoceros itself. Thanks a lot.